They thought the terror ended with a bullet. They were wrong. In the quiet, unassuming town of Circleville, Ohio, a sinister force began to stir in the late 1970s. It wasn't a phantom, nor a monster lurking in the shadows. It was paper and ink, wielded with malicious intent, that would plunge the community into a nightmare lasting years. The first anonymous letters arrived in 1976. They targeted specific residents, accusing them of various misdeeds, infidelity, corruption, even child abuse. The handwriting was crude block letters, often misspelled, yet the content was disturbingly precise, revealing intimate details of the victims' lives. Among the first to receive these poison pen letters was Mary Gillespie, a bus driver for the local school district. Her letter accused her of an affair with the school superintendent, Gordon Massey. The accusation was scandalous, designed to dismantle reputations and sow discord. Mary initially dismissed the letter, but then her husband, Ron Gillespie, a police officer, received one too. It reiterated the affair accusation, but this time the tone was overtly threatening. The letters weren't just gossip. They were a calculated campaign of psychological warfare. The campaign escalated. Letters appeared on her bus route, addressed to other drivers, repeating the accusations against Mary. They were left on her front porch, slid under doors, and even sent to her children. The letter writer was always watching, always knew. The torment reached a terrifying peak on August 19, 1977. Ron Gillespie, frustrated and enraged by the relentless harassment, answered a phone call. The caller, believed to be the letter writer, taunted him, promising to reveal more damning details. Armed with his service revolver, Ron left his home, declaring he was going to confront the letter writer. He drove down a deserted road, searching. What happened next remains shrouded in mystery, but a single shot rang out. Ron Gillespie was found dead in his truck, a single gunshot wound to the head. His gun lay beside him. The official ruling was suicide, but many in Circleville, especially Mary, believed he was murdered, driven to his death by the letter writer, or killed by them directly. After Ron's death, the letters to Mary ceased for a time. A grim silence descended, but it was a false peace. The community held its breath, wondering if the terror had truly ended, or if it was merely in hibernation. Then in 1983, the letters resurfaced. They were addressed to Mary again, but also to her daughter, and even to the local sheriff's office. This time, the threats were even more explicit, demanding Mary stop her alleged affair, warning of further consequences. One letter contained a chilling ultimatum. A sign erected on Mary's bus route accusing her of the affair had to be removed. The letter writer threatened violence if it remained. Mary, terrified, knew she had to act. Following instructions from the sheriff's office, Mary drove her bus route, pretending to remove the sign. A trap was laid. Officers waited nearby, hoping to catch the elusive letter writer in the act. The trap worked. As Mary pulled away, a man emerged from the woods to inspect the sign. It was Paul Fresher, Ron Gillespie's brother-in-law. He was arrested, and in his possession, police found a gun and a letter consistent with the Circleville letters. Fresher maintained his innocence, claiming he was set up. He argued he was merely trying to remove the sign himself, having seen it, and denied writing any letters. The evidence, however, was compelling to the prosecution. A handwriting expert testified that Fresher's writing matched the letters. Despite his protests, Paul Fresher was convicted of attempted murder for threatening Mary Gillespie and sentenced to 7 to 25 years in prison. The town breathed a collective sigh of relief, but the story didn't end there. Even from behind bars, the letters continued. Mary Gillespie, the sheriff, and even the judge in Fresher's case received new letters. They were identical in style, crude block letters, intimate details, sinister threats. How could Fresher be sending letters from prison? Could he have an accomplice? Or was an innocent man behind bars while the true tormentor remained free? The questions multiplied, deepening the mystery. Fresher continued to claim his innocence, pointing to the continued letters as proof. He even suggested that Mary Gillespie herself might be involved, or someone else close to the situation. The web of suspicion grew wider. Investigators explored theories. Was it a disgruntled former employee? A jealous neighbor? The possibilities seemed endless, yet no new arrests were ever made for the continued letters. The case went cold, leaving an indelible stain on Circleville. Paul Fresher was eventually released from prison in 1994, having served 10 years. He maintained his innocence until his death in 2012, never wavering from his belief that he was framed. The identity of the Circleville letter writer remains an official enigma. To this day, the case of the Circleville letter writer continues to baffle true crime enthusiasts and investigators alike. Was Fresher truly the culprit, orchestrating the letters from prison through an unknown proxy? Or was he a scapegoat, a convenient target for a truly malicious and cunning individual? The psychological impact on the town was profound. Trust eroded, suspicion festered, and the peace of a small community was shattered by the relentless, anonymous threats. The terror wasn't just in the words, but in the unsettling feeling of being watched always. The Circleville letter writer reminds us that some of the most chilling crimes aren't committed with weapons, but with words. And sometimes, even after a conviction, the truth remains elusive, hidden in the shadows, leaving us to wonder who truly pulled the strings. What other unsolved mysteries haunt the quiet corners of America?